Hello, hello, hello. My name is Rosalind McKinnon Williams. I'm a Wilson, North Carolina native, and today I'm honored to be answering the prompt questions for the North Carolina Teaching Fellow Scholarship. Again, my name is Rosalind McKinnon Williams, and I'm a native of Wilson, North Carolina, but I grew up in a small town on the very outskirts of Wilson, which is Elm City, North Carolina, Wilson County. Um, if you were to find me outside of the classroom, you would probably find me lost in a good book at a local coffee shop or on a walking trail or in the stands cheering on the youth that I mentor from my local church. I've always been someone who finds joy in helping others, whether I'm helping a student navigate a tough week at a youth chat session or simply encourage a friend over a nice cup of coffee. I try to bring that same dedication and energy to everything that I do. Growing up in Eastern North Carolina, I've seen firsthand how much a community relies on its school as a heartbeat of support. My own background, growing up in Elm City, North Carolina, where everyone knows your name, taught me that every student walks in a classroom with a different story, and every one of those stories is worth hearing. I'm not just looking to be a teacher because I love English or because I love writing. I'm doing it because I love people. I want to be part of the reason North Carolina's next generation feels seen, supported, and ready to take on the world. So that's just a little introduction about myself. I'm going to go right in and answer the first prompt question. And that one was, once you become a teacher, if you were to teach a lesson that your students didn't understand, what would you do? And my answer to this, if I finish a lesson and I looked out and I seen a classroom full of stares, my first instinct wouldn't be to blame the student, it would be to check my own approach. To me, a student's confusion isn't a failure. It's just a sign that I haven't found the right language, so to speak, for that specific concept. In that moment, I would pause and I would probably say something to myself like, I think they missed the mark. I missed the mark on explaining this. So I would try it at a different angle. I'm a firm believer in meeting my students right where they are. If my lecture didn't click, maybe a hands-on activity or a real-world story would kind of help. I want my students to see me as a partner in their learning, someone who's willing to pivot and admit when a plan doesn't work. My goal isn't just to check off a box on a curriculum map, but it is to make sure that when they leave my classroom, they feel confident in what they've learned. I'd rather slow down so that they can get it and leave knowing that I conquered this rather than just staying on the schedule. A teaching fellow understands that the pace of a curriculum must always serve the needs of the learner. All right, going right into prompt question 2. What do you think it means to be a professional as a teacher in the classroom? To me, a professional in a classroom isn't about wearing a tie or using big words. It's about the person my students can count on every single day. It means showing up with a plan, but also having emotional maturity to handle a student's bad day without taking it personally. Professionalism is the invisible floor, so to speak, to a classroom. It what makes students feel safe because they know I'm going to be fair, I'm going to be consistent, and I'm going to keep their best interests at heart, even when things seem stressful. It's about setting high standards for them because I respect their potential too much to let them slide, while also being the first person to offer a high five or word of encouragement when they're struggling. Ultimately, being a professional means understanding the weight of my own influence. It's about modeling the kind of adult I want my students to become. Someone who is prepared, someone who's kind, resilient, and always willing to learn. It is a commitment to being my best self so that they can find the space to find their best selves. All right, prompt question 3. Imagine you're retiring after 30 years of teaching. What do you hope your students would say about your legacy? This one was fun for me. If I were looking back on a 30-year career, I hope my students wouldn't just remember the fact that I taught them, but remember how it felt when they were in my classroom. I want my legacy to be that I was a teacher who truly saw them, especially the ones who felt invisible. I love to hear a former student say something like, I didn't think I could do it, but Miss Williams wouldn't give up on me. She wouldn't let me give up on myself. I want to be remembered as the person who made a difficult subject feel like a puzzle we were solving together rather than a wall they had to climb alone. Beyond academics, I'd hope they say I taught them how to be more kind, how to think more about themselves, and how to stay curious about the world. If I could look back and see a generation of North Carolinians who were more confident and compassionate because they spent a year in my classroom, then I'll know I didn't just have a career, I had a purpose. My legacy wouldn't be a trophy on the shelf, but it would be a success and a character of my people, my students, what they became. All right, in conclusion, just to kind of make it short, so that I can stay within the time frame, being a North Carolina teaching fellow will be more than a scholarship for me. It will be a commitment. I'm ready to embrace the rigorous training, the collaborative community, and the responsibility of leading a classroom. I'm eager to contribute to the legacy of excellence in North Carolina and look forward to the opportunity to serve our state students.